Hey everybody. So here we are today, and I was going to shoot you a video. I made this gorgeous brisket, and I had taken all the tallow off of it, and I was going to show you how to make candles, and realized I don't have anything special to show you on that. So I changed my mind. So here we're going to do something different. So hey, if you get something out of this, subscribe. Hit that little deal. Hit the bell notification to get all those little notifications that a new videos come out. But comment as well. I'm craving and I need your thoughts. So let's get into this. So what I'm talking about here is water purification. And I hear a lot of people talking about using pool shock. This is pool shock. And I've got several hundred pounds of this. I've got also about 400 pounds of these. These are chlorinated tablets. And the difference between the two basically is this one's an unstabilized, and this has a stabilizer in it. I'll talk about that here in a minute. But one thing that I never hear anybody talking about is the dangers of pool shock. Be careful with it. Pool shock, if you heat it, it gets above 70 degrees, it starts giving off a gas. And it is chlorine gas. And chlorine gas, look at all the people in World War I that know about chlorine gas. It's not a good thing. It can definitely destroy your ability to breathe. It will burn your lungs very easily. But if you heat this, a yellow gas will come off of it, and that is the chlorine gas, and it can be very nasty. So watch how you handle this. Now, a couple teaspoons to make a gallon of bleach, 8 drops of bleach, the bleach water that you create to purify water, and the CDC says goes up to like 16 or 18 drops if it's cloudy or murky water. Best thing to do, go to the CDC and pull up chlorine for purifying water, get their tables and use those. Don't go off of what I'm saying here. I'm going off the top of my head on what I already know about it. But let's talk about pool stabilizer, or chlorinated tablets that have a stabilizer in it. If you're going to store your water for long term, one of the downsides to the shock is its name kind of tells you it is a shock for the pool. It goes in and it dissipates out really quickly. Why? Because it has no stabilizer. Same thing happens with your long-term water storage. A lot of the chlorine will dissipate quickly within weeks, months, where the stabilized chlorine will stay in your pool, will stay in your water storage much longer. You can store this in your, or portions of it. I wouldn't do the whole thing. This is probably enough to stabilize. This is probably enough to purify several hundred gallons of water, but that right there, you can scrape it off, put some in your to-go pack, your daily carry. If you're that concerned about on a daily basis, your go bag, whatever it is that you keep or just plan on having for storage around the house. Keeping these, they last a lot longer than the pool shock. As far as being stable, if you heat them up a little bit, they're not nearly as troublesome. But what you're trying to get to is 4 parts per million of bleach or chlorine in your water to kill the harmful bacteria. Now, a little over 4. I think the CDC's 4.62% or something like that. Litmus test. I'm not getting paid by any of these manufacturers that you may see on the other deals, but you can take these little strips. Oop. You can buy these at Walmart. You can buy them at any pool location, and they're basically test strips for your water for a pool. But for us, they'll work just as well. Read the directions. There is some important stuff that you have to do, and it's a matter of coloring. So if you have any color issues with your eyes, you don't discern colors very well, this is really a bad way of doing it because it is very user unfriendly. But you dip this in on this particular brand, you wait 20 seconds, match it up to the color chart of parts per million on chlorine, and you know that you're at the 4 parts per million or greater. You don't want to go too much greater. There are harmful side effects, but I think the CDC says 4.6% or 4.6 parts per million is the recommended high dose or recommended dose. Then I've got a complete service unit for, and let me see if I can turn this and show you guys. This is a complete kit. It has for testing all sorts of stuff in your pool, but it's going to get you the parts per million that you're looking for. Various chemicals. This is enough to test, oh gosh, for years to come. But these tests are only going to be good. These chemicals have an expiration date on them of about 2 years, give or take. But this has a book in there to tell you how to do all the stuff for the water chemistry. And so one of these little kits is a nice little addition to your preps for being able to test water long term. Now, once you get that smell in your nose, get used to it, you'll be able to add to your water and know what the chlorine level is. I've been doing this so long that I pretty much can tell you. But Pool Shock is wonderful, but dangerous. These little hockey pucks, and you can get them in different kind of materials, has a stabilizer in it that will keep the water, will not dissipate out of your water source for quite as easily, quite as quickly. And so sanitize that water if the stuff ever hits the fan. Or without rule of law, we don't know exactly what's coming through the tap. If ever you have that problem, you'd already have a test kit. You already have the materials to go ahead and purify your water. And I know the CDC says something about murky water, but I would just filter it first, then treat it. But if you don't have a filter available, you have to do with what you've got. And going down, buying this kit here, this huge kit, and you can get them a lot smaller, is $200, something like that. These little test strips are about $20 for a good quality high number. I mean, I think there were like 100 in here when I first started using this. But that'll get you your parts per million and know that your water is right, not guess that your water's right. And it's a good idea if you're storing 55-gallon drums to every once in a while take and stir that water up and test it. See what the chemical levels are in there. Make sure that you're not storing non-potable water. And so that's the deal for today. I was going to do it, like I said, on a brisket and making candles, but I had nothing special to add. Don't see any of our brethren out there talking about pool kit test kits to be able to know what your water is going to be as far as parts per million. But look up the CDC guidelines, follow that kind of stuff. There is a harmful amount of bleach that you can add to water and drink. So I think that's it. I'm Craven, and I need your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that little notification bell. Give me a comment if you would, please. But just keep on watching.